This is a question that actually came in during your keynote, Jinan. This is from Emmanuel, and he's asking, one of my team's priorities for the next year and beyond is maturing our organization's security culture. There's been a lot of discussion about how to measure culture and changes to it. What are you seeing as the strongest indicators of culture change? And how do organizations like mine report progress on culture to, for example, an executive team?
Okay, first of all, Emmanuel, congratulations for getting to a point where you are considering measuring your culture. I think that's such a significant point to get to in an organization, to measure the security culture. I know I've just listened to Bruce's amazing session, and I know he had some perspectives on definitions of culture, and I'm sure, Bruce, you'll be able to share with us definitions as well as measurements. From my perspective, I want to talk about some of the more practical elements of measuring the culture and some of the trends that I'm seeing. I'm definitely seeing a lot of trends in cultural assessments on the market. These are tools that are currently being deployed to measure culture. There are tools that are being used to measure behavior, and all really exciting. Again, I'm thrilled to see us move away from that, measuring how many people have completed their security awareness training course or how many people liked it, like what is that actually giving us? I'm not, wasn't really quite sure, but I think there's been an evolution. So really happy to see that we're starting to measure behavior. But again, if I move on to, and I just want to share a personal example, and it was from a particular organization and a particular transformation that I went to conduct at that particular organization. And I remember when I first walked through the door, this wasn't just a cultural project, it was the entire cybersecurity program. And I remember going in, and no one wanted to know about security. No one. We would have meetings, and I would walk into a room and people would literally either laugh and they'll go, haha, cyber, what is this thing? Or, they'll start making gun gestures, or, they just thought the whole thing was hilarious. As we started building our brand, building the culture, socializing with stakeholders, it was so interesting how much it changed. And it got to a point after 1.5 years where I'd walk into a meeting room and people would have a cyber safety moment. And I loved that. It was such an intangible thing. It was certainly something that we never intended to measure, but to me, it was such a strong indicator of what a cultural journey that we had all been on this subject of cybersecurity. And some other ways, if you do want to get specific about this, I think one way you can see if you've changed the dial, you can have a look at things such as how often is your CISO being invited to present at board meetings? How often is this security team being engaged? How engaged is your organization with you about the topic of security? For me, without getting into definitional topics, I just think some of these less tangible things are so telling of how far you've come in a year's time. I know it's challenging because I know that boards and executives, they challenge you and they see other organizations saying how many phishing attempts you've blocked, etc., etc. So you do have to give them whatever it is that's on their mind and demonstrate that, but also just keep on thinking the bigger picture and aim high on that one.
New episodes of Cyberwork are available every Monday at 1 p.m. Central. And don't forget to claim your free month of Infosec skills. Sign up using the code CYBERWORK and you'll get unlimited access to hundreds of courses, hands-on labs, certification practice exams, skills assessments, and more. Use code CYBERWORK for Infosec skills.